So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So today, where did I put? Oh, it's over here. Okay. We're doing a review. I know it's been a while because I had to wait until I could afford it, but I could afford it because I had to buy two books at the same exact time. Because if you believe it, the next Warriors book and this book both came out on the same day, so I had to make sure I had money to buy both of them. Would you believe it? So, this one, it does have a lot of similarities to the older stories, but it also reminds me of two other stories that are you can count as scary. Um, I read one of these books, never read the other one. I probably never will. If I do read any of his books, it'll probably be one of his non-scary ones. But this this is Five Nights at Freddy's book 10, Fazbear Fright book 10. Friendly Faces, the one with the cat with the human face on it. The one when I first saw this picture, I thought it was made up, but now that I'm holding it, it's definitely not. So before I tell you what this book about, so you have time to click off, read it for yourself, and so like that, or listen to it like I did, and follow along. So the two stories that the stories that this book reminds me of, is the first two Freddy stories are 1:35 a.m. is where that doll is following the girl around. I don't remember who the character in the other one is One Step Closer. If you remember that one, that's the one where a kid was cursed by a Foxy character nonetheless, and he ended up losing his eye, and his arm, and it was a friend like, you're gonna lose your arm, you're gonna lose your eye, you're gonna lose your leg, like a pirate does. So similar to that, mostly the ending, what happens to the main three characters in this book. And also the two stories that are not related to Five Nights at Freddy's that reminds me of is Pet Cemetery, and since there's no robots in Pet Cemetery, but still kind of something that haunts you from the dead and makes you deal with grief in the worst ways. Haunts the main character in this book until he dies. So, yeah, until they die, and that's what happens in Pet Cemetery. The dad ends up having unbury his son, and then remake his daughter, and haunts them until they pretty much die, because he did the same thing to his wife. So, and I've seen both versions. I won't read the book because it sounds way too. It doesn't sound scary to me. It sounds more sad. I mean, basically they're zombies to me, and zombies don't scare me that much. So, only difference between these zombies is that they talk back to you. So yeah. Anyway, And the other one is if you guys I read those books of scary stories. I never watched the movie of that one though, but the one I've read out of those books is the Big Toe one. And in one scene in this book, the kid Edward does hear a creak, just like the kid in that story hears where's my toe? Basically, it's like that's all it reminds me like that. And it's in the dark because a storm has happened and electricity went out. So let's get started with now that little what the story reminds me of is over with. Let's get started with this book, which is about two boys named Edward and Jack, and they're kind of the oddballs in the school. They're both like smart kids, nerds basically, and they're like told to not to do anything. They even got a girl that one of them likes a girl named Julie who wants nothing to do with them. She just thinks they're Edward's a freak, and basically she's out of your league. You can't compete with her. So one day they end up finding a cat, and they end up naming it a black cat named Faraday. They named it Faraday, and Jack ends up keeping it, and they end up like trying to teach it tricks, which I commend for that because teaching cats tricks only one is not easy. I can't even get it to go inside of my bedroom when I'm coming in with groceries. All he does is stare at me. Sometimes he comes in this room because I don't want him to go outside and having what happens to Faraday in this book happen to him. So, and we live pretty close to the road, so we're leaving just like that. So, for him to go out there and just get ran over by a car. So, anyway, they decided to like have him like trying to do like some obstacle courses outside one day. For some reason, his dad is okay with the cat and doesn't like the cat so much. Jack's dad. He's just one of those cow's potatoes who just wants to sit there and watch football all day and doesn't like the fact that Jack's not that type of kid where he wants to be, where he's just too smart for his own good, basically. And they don't get along for that reason. So one day, they take Faraday outside to like see him do tricks like that, and they even got a book that tells you how to teach cats tricks. So like your dog does, like shake hands, sit down, and stuff like that. So they're trying to teach him how to do trick outside. But instead of doing the tricks, he chases a butterfly, and they even describe you what like Edward even like says, what if basically before this happens, if he didn't chase the butterfly, in a paragraph. And while you're reading this or listening to this, you know what's going to happen. You know something's going to happen to the cat. Why would the book be describing something like this if something's not going to happen to the character that they're describing to? It's like you're pretty much telling, oh, something bad's going to happen to this thing. And you just know it once this starts reading those sentences. But he starts chasing the butterfly, and Jack starts to go. It starts going after the cat, and some idiot is going really fast down the road. And since he is going so fast down the road, and a truck nonetheless, I don't know if it's one of those big trucks, but it's a truck, and not just hits Faraday, he hits Jack, and both of them die. So yeah, what happens to both Winston and the little boy, and and Pet Cemetery. Both then get hit by a truck. So yeah, and poor Edward. Everybody, both Jake's parents and Edward's mom, because his dad's not in the picture for some reason. What's Chalker? Like a lot of these books, the dad's not in the picture. Both blame the cat. All three of them blame the cat. And Edward's like saying, it's not the cat's, it's not Faraday's fault. And so summer goes by, and Edward can't get over the grief of losing his friend and the cat. He's miserable and sad, and his mom tries to talk to him about it, but he can't get over it. So one day he's watching TV, and he ends up seeing a commercial with Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's, like offering to have where you send in a fur of your old pet, and they send you a robot of this animal, so you don't have to say goodbye to it, and you can be with it forever. So when he goes to the place where both of them were hit, he finds a hair. He sends it to them. He says it's going to take about 8 weeks. And the 8 weeks go. He calls them and asks them, why hasn't it come yet? Well, because we're having a little problem. We're having troubles with it. And they might take a little longer. So when he gets it finally, he finds out that it actually has Jack's face on it. And so he did not find one of Faraday's hair. He found one of Jack's hair, not Faraday's. So the robot, that's why this cover has a person's face on it with looking like a cat. That's why. So he tries to bury it because he can't stand to look at his dead friend's face all the time. So, and eventually a storm happens a couple of days later, and it makes all the lights go out. And he starts hearing like this creaking sound, and it makes him come out of bed all of a sudden. Makes him grab his flashlight and look around and stuff like that for stuff and see what made that noise. And it keeps on happening again. And so every time he sits down in bed, he hears happening. He hears a knock or a tick, like that. And so once he actually after he tired of looking around and trying to find out what the thing is that making that noise, he starts reciting all the numbers that are known about pi, and tries to go to bed like that, like you're counting sheep. Instead of that, he's doing the reciting to pi. Fall asleep too. And this is when it happens. Basically on the tip of his bed, I guess his bed has one of those bars on them, and the cat is sitting on top of it, looking at him, and he screams and makes it his mom. And his mom tries to when his mom comes in the room, the cat's gone, and scares him. So and he ends up trying. I guess he can't sleep, so he has to turn the lights on for the rest of the days. And he tries to find a place where he can be alone. Every time he tries to be alone, the cat follows him. So basically, the cat follows him everywhere he goes, and nobody else has seen it. And he ends up trying to get on a bus one day after school, and eventually he sees the cat on the bus, so he decides to not get on the bus. So he tries to walk home, which is 6 miles away, and he ends up getting chased by the cat. basically to his death, and he ends up getting hit by a car. He ends up hit by a truck too. People just drive the speed limits. Will it kill you? Not you, the person you hit. So, and then the cat stands on top of him and asking, oh, so time for me to read the last page to you guys. He tried to run faster. He was so tired. He stepped. Faintly, something touched Edward's ankle. He glanced down. Jack's face smiled up at him. Edward screamed. He put his head down and crumbled his arms and pushed his body even faster. Just a few more steps. He tripped harder and glanced Larry stood on the ground in the front of him, and he wouldn't feel over something. Go down. He couldn't see clearly though. Even everything was blurry, probably because his eyes are filled with tears and sweat. It didn't matter. He kept running. He bolted forward and planted away from the thing behind him, holdering towards what he was hoping was. Edward felt the blast of pain for so interested and could probably have been real. The pain was the last thing he felt. The pain was incompletable, was the last thing he thought. He never even had a chance to think. Sorry. The semi-truck, yeah, it was a semi-truck that, well, at least it hit, this is what hits him, was that what hit Edward. Seen the instant right after the impact. Driver's eyes bolted in his heart, racing his stomach. Suddenly, in a knot, practice on the truck's brakes pedals. Of course, it was too late. The semi kept going for several yards before the kniving to stop it. Behind the truck, Jack's body lied in the road, a pool of flood widening around it. A few steps away, pedaling, hiding in the fence, urging of the waiter, the friendly face, heard down toward the flicking it, robotic tail. It smiling Jack's face, kept glancing tendered forward on Edward. Still on Edward's still form. It would wait now. It would wait perhaps patiently for Edward to get back up so they could play some more. That's haunting, those last lines. I mean, it's like, if you ever like seen like all those silly although like you see like when somebody like runs towards the tunnel and then they're like in heaven, they're like panting around, and that's what this robot thing wants him to do, basically. Forget the fact that you were killed and just pant around. So yeah, I mean, this one was sad. Edward did not deserve this. A lot of times when I read these books, yes, some of them are jerks, but some of them are just ordinary people who did not deserve to die the way they did. Only ones that I'm okay when they're jerks in the story, and then maybe they deserve it, but not always. So I don't know. I still liked it. Edward was a good kid. I mean, I was never as smart as he was. I couldn't go to bed reciting the pie, but I do understand what it's like to be in a school when you feel like no one wants to pay attention to you. So I can relate to that part to him. So, and I can relate to the part I would not want to blame him if that happened to him. If that happened to one of my friends. So yeah. But it is kind of sad, and that's why he has to stay inside, so the same thing doesn't happen to him. Okay? He's not as, I know it's gonna come soon, but right now he's very healthy. He's not sick. He still runs around and plays, so he still has energy to do stuff. So, but this one was very sad. Probably gonna get this one. I mean, it did drag for a little bit, so, and the fact they had to add numbers into it to make it in the right link, I guess. But I would say I would give this one probably about a 7 out of 10. So I'll see you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. I saw when I was looking to see how many people are not subscribed that watches my channel. It says like 60% of you guys are not subscribed to me, and it says 30 are. So it helps. It helps me out. You can comment down below. You can like it. All of it helps me out. Helps me get bigger. And some of you guys have subscribed because I got to 194. Let's make it to 200, guys. This one is so. I don't know if I'm gonna read anymore. I might just go back to the library to read books. I'm running out of room. So, and I do want to read a Stephen King book one day. Just don't want to get scared if I do read one. I probably want it. I know what's gonna happen to it. I probably end up reading Stand By Me or the Prison one. So I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye-bye.